seasons in league history. It's the Bengals and the Jets, and it comes your way next.
It's the NFL on EA Sports as we welcome you into Paycor Stadium on the riverfront here in Sydney. Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They're led out by a former number 2 overall pick in the draft from BYU, it's Zach Wilson.
And we all know the scouting report on him. He can attack the field at all levels with a very strong arm and make big-time plays off schedule. We also see a player with confidence and swagger. We see a guy who knows how to lead a team, who knows how to compete, and wants to be great every time he hits the field.
Here we go. Set.
Wilson going to come out throwing. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on first down, but the defense does not budge on 2nd and 3rd. After last week's loss, you bet this offense probably wanted to come out with a little more fire than a 3 and out.
And I'm sure that people are saying, hey, come on, Coach, what was the pregame talk? Have these guys ready to go? But you and I both know it goes into preparation and practice and being ready to go. That gives you the confidence to come out and play. They've got to find that fast.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And they'll be led out by a guy who has a couple years under his belt in the NFL, their 3rd-year quarterback. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down. A look at the numbers for Thomas from a week ago. 14 carries, 52 yards, and a touchdown.
11 touchdowns on the ground this season, and the pride really extends throughout the entire offense. And in this case, I'm focusing on the offensive line. The leverage, the ability to get downfield and make that extra block in order to give him more space to run. They really look forward to him carrying the football because they're going to get him to the end zone. Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Jet touchdown. So, Charles, our first points of the game provided defensively. What a play that was.
And I can only imagine that the folks at home watching are thinking to themselves, that's one of those plays where once the ball leaves the quarterback's hands, you just sort of go, uh-oh, and wait for the result. This time, the defense benefited.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This taken in at the goal line. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete.
Holding offense.
They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
Still 3rd
It's
down.
real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
They'll look to throw. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion.
They go with the empty set there. 5 receivers in the formation. Normally, you want to have a running back in to block, but in this case, he's lined up to the right, and he ends up getting the football. A lot of confusion caused defensively, and it turns into a big play.
And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. The Bengals coming in looking for win number 6 on the year. They were losers their last time out. Trying to get back in the win column, but obviously not an easy task here in a hostile environment.
Yeah, always tough to win away from home. But sometimes what you do is you use these types of games as bonding experiences and carry that into the contest.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a Jet was shaken up on that one. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Thomas. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 29-yard line. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another 1st. On 1st down, Thomas. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. On play action, they'll throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's 1st sack of the game. Now Justin Tucker's out to try the field goal. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. Tucker's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to win that drive with 3 points in this one possession game.
You want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Back on the field come the New York Jets for their 2nd drive. And a 3 and out on that 1st drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That 1st series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that 1st drive.
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a 2nd opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. It's complete to Brown, right side. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. From midfield now, here's Wilson. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll bring up second down. There's Wilson. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. From the corner, it was Kendall Fuller with a sack.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards. And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And the Bengals are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Yeah, they dipped a game below 500 following the loss last week, and you get the sense that maybe this team's at a little bit of a crossroads here.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it, because what's that old malaprop? If you come to a fork in the road, take it.
Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here, as they've got it 2nd and 7. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
There are a lot of tough routes to try and cover. When you see a runner come out of the backfield and run this angle route, looks like they're going to the flat, and then they put their foot in the ground and cut back sharply inside. Not easily covered, and then when they...
Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And his guys are going to take over at 9-yard line.
Do you remember in preseason we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and, you know, guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the lot. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Wilson's throw taken in by Diggs. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball, and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And he is stopped just short on third down. Got 9 yards, but needed 10.
A short gain that doesn't get him the first down brings up a fourth down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. They're going on fourth down. It's Wilson. The left side caught by Diggs. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on fourth. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. So a big play there on fourth, and now 1st and 10 at the 30. McCaffrey running up the middle. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Another run with McCaffrey on 2nd down. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Got him in. It's Brown. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 15-yard line. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. They gets it into the arms of Parker. Complete. And the nimble footwork gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
To throw is Wilson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. The quick slant caught. Touchdown, Jets. Christian McCaffrey with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys are able to extend their lead. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it's finished off by a receiving touchdown from Christian McCaffrey. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And Charles, he's a rookie. He's put it on the ground once. Maybe defensively now they're saying, okay, we can get this young buck to cough it up 2, 3 times. He's got to be careful here.
Yeah, they do tend to zero in on the young runners because once one comes out, as you noted, you think there's an opportunity for more. This is where you have to get with that guy and say, all right, they're going to come after you, but we believe in your talents. Take care of the football, and let's go.
This would be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. Now he dumps this off over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They'll look to throw now on first down. He finds his man, complete. It's Lamb. And they're going to get this up to midfield. Good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. His throw incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
3rd and inches, and they've got some extra beef up front. 3 tight ends. Up the middle they go. Thomas. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Here we go on 4th down. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. Remember, that was 4th and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and 4th and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's at 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? You just go quarterback sneak. But
he rifles one that's intercepted. And the Jets are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. It's complete to Diggs. And he is going to have a Jets first down as he's able to get about 3 that time on 3rd and inches. Now it's Wilson. He gets it complete to Harris. Out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Here's Wilson. He'll get this out right here to McCaffrey. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Now Wilson. Flushed out right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Now Kaimi Fairbairn for the field goal try. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
From the end zone, here comes Williams. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Bengals going to take over late in this first half And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. They'll set up to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Quality coverage that time to slow down has been the main source of offense against them thus far. Got to find a way to slow down that ball in the air.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And that is incomplete.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Jets going to go on offense one last time in this first half. And with a 17-3 cushion already, we'll see how aggressive they want to be. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll kick things off down in the Bayou. An NFC South matchup between Atlanta and New Orleans. And those two are tied up as they play the second quarter. We'll stay in the NFC North as we head over to Minneapolis to check on the Vikings at home in U.S. Bank Stadium. And things didn't work out for them as they fall to the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Lamar Jackson, 5 touchdown passes, leading his guys to the victory. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And they trail the visiting Lions in that one. Brandon Ayuk, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. On now to a look at the next-gen stats for the Jets in that first half. And their offense has been in top form so far, especially their passing game, as it's helped push them out to this big halftime lead. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, we check on their numbers on the ground in the first half, as they know they'll need to be better to overcome this halftime deficit. These two teams making their final adjustments for the second half. And to bring it your way, we go back up to Cincinnati and Brandon Gott.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone. quarter number 3. The Bengals with work to do in this third quarter, but they'll get the football first as we are back underway. This will be fielded inside the 5. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. And the Bengal offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Good job there getting his tight end involved, because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
On second down now, it's Thomas. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Rolling to his left. That is taken in by Hurst. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. That's good for 28 yards.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with first and goal.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try and sneak it here, and he'll get it. He's over for the touchdown. It's their quarterback scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Bengals have got it back to within a score. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. That slices the lead down to 17-10. That time a 6-play drive. It's capped off with a quarterback sneak for 6. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. And throw right side complete to Parker. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They get 6. That'll leave him with 3rd and 4.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner, By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Again, Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second. Hard throw, incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
They're going to try and throw. It's brought in by Harris. And he is going to have the Bengals first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. They're able to keep the drive alive. 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. Here's a quick throw out left. That's caught. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's second down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. The play fake. He'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And the Jets are going to take possession of the football. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get the field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. 10 yards is the pickup. Good enough for a Jet first down.
It's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. That is not going to be any help as they dump it behind the line of scrimmage. Now Kaimi Fairbairn for the field goal try. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Here comes another drive from this unit, and Charles, they're coming off a costly mistake on the last possession, an interception in a game that is very close right now.
Well, as we know, they all sting no matter what the situation, but in a one-possession game, that'll hurt a little bit more. But this is an excellent opportunity to make up for it on this drive. I just don't expect them to try and take huge gambles to make up that momentum in a hurry.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
But they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And a throw there going to be incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
They'll try and throw for it here. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He finds his man complete. That's Harris. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a second and short. They'll look to throw here. A quick throw, but incomplete. The Bengals on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Thomas, and he will have a first down here at about the 40. 43 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on second and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. By Amani Hooker. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit had to throw the football, unfortunately. On 2nd and 7, Stafford. And it's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Stafford. And he comes back with one complete. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 39. Forced out to his left. And this one is incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Stafford. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. From the red zone now, Stafford. That is caught inside the 5. And the Bengals are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Throwing again at Stafford. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Bengals have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, it's offensively there. You're right.
Exactly right. And if you have that 1-5-play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Even though we're not on the goal line, this is essentially a goal line look as they come up for 2nd down. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. Here's Wilson. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. Have a Jets 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the 4th quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
On the set. Ready, go.
The Jets, with victory seemingly in hand, they take a knee.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one.
Lock it.
So it's a victory here for the New York Jets. So they came in here facing a very tall task, going against the NFL's #1 ranked defense, but they got the job done. Charles, really an outstanding performance.
They certainly showed that they weren't going to be intimidated, didn't they? They took on the best defense in the NFL today, took it right to them, and that's against a group of guys that is used to shutting people down. To me, this is going to be a signature moment for this team's season.
So for the Jets, the win is their 5th of the year as they move to 5-8. And they'll return home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they dropped their 7th game on the year. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns.